All right, so if you're getting into AWS, you're going to hear about S3 constantly. It's probably the most popular AWS service, and honestly, once you get it, you'll understand why everyone uses it. So, S3 stands for Simple Storage Service, but right now you could forget that. Here's what it actually is it's basically like an unlimited cloud storage for your files, photos, videos, documents, backups, etc. You get it. You upload it to S3, and AWS stores it across multiple data centers so it never gets lost. So S3, it's not like a hard drive or anything. You can't install a program on it or run a database on it. Think of it more like Google Drive, except it's built for developers and it scales infinitely. I could upload one photo or billions of photos, and S3 doesn't care. It'll just continue to work. Alright, so the way it works is you create something called a bucket. That's just like a container for your files. Then you upload objects. That's what S3 calls files. So you upload that into your bucket. Pretty simple. Alright, here's how I think about S3. So you know like a storage unit facility where people rent space to store their stuff? S3 is like that, but for digital files. So you get your own storage unit, that's your bucket. You put your stuff inside, those are your objects. And in this scenario, the facility itself is incredibly secure. They got copies of your stuff in multiple locations in case of disasters like fire or flood. And you can access your unit anytime you want from anywhere in the world. All you pay for is the space that you actually use. And just like a storage facility, you can make your unit private. Only you have the key. Or you can make it public if you want people to access certain things. That's how a lot of websites work actually. Like their images and files, they're just sitting in a public S3 bucket. And when you visit the site, your browser is pulling those files directly from S3. So some real world examples of what people actually use S3 for is like backups, like companies dumping their database backups, server snapshots, or even all their important stuff into S3. They do this because AWS has a 99.99999 and so on guarantee for durability. So basically, your data is never getting lost. Another use case is data storage for apps. Like when you upload a profile picture to an app, there's a good chance it's going to S3. Or when Netflix stores movies, or when Airbnb stores listing photos. S3. Another use case is data lakes, like companies dumping massive amounts of data into S3, then analyze it later with other AWS services. And I'm talking about like petabytes of data. Here's where S3 gets smart. So, not all data needs to be accessed instantly, right? Like your family photos from last week, maybe. Yeah, you'd want those fast, but something like your tax documents from 2015, you probably don't need instant access to those. AWS understands this, so S3 has different storage classes. The S3 standard. This is for stuff you access frequently, that you need fast or available instantly, but it's the most expensive option. The intelligent tiering option on AWS automatically moves files between frequent and infrequent access based on your usage. So this is like the set it and forget it option. The Glacier. This is for archival stuff. Like it's way cheaper, but it takes a few minutes to even hours to retrieve. So this one is perfect for old backups. The Glacier Deep Archive. This is the absolute cheapest option. Like we're talking $1 per terabyte per month. But the downside is it takes 12 hours to get your data back. So you would use this for stuff you legally have to keep but probably will never need. The cool part though is you could set up something called a lifecycle policy. This means like after 30 days move this to intelligent tiering, or after 90 days move it to Glacier. It's automatic cost savings. Versioning is like unlimited undo. You can enable this on your bucket, and S3 keeps every version of every file. So if you accidentally overwrite a file or delete something, you could get it back. It's like an unlimited undo. I'm sure it saved many people in the past. By default, everything you put in S3 is private. Only you can access it. But you could make individual files public or the whole bucket public if you really want. You could also set up super specific permissions like only this EC2 instance can read these files or only this IP address can upload. And yeah, you can encrypt everything too. S3 handles it automatically though if you want. Some things you should not use S3 for is like using it as a database. S3 is not a database. You should use RDS or DynamoDB for that. Don't use it for files that change constantly. Like if you're editing a document 50 times a day, that's not what S3 is for. Use a Amazon service like EFS or EBS for that. S3's whole motto is store it, retrieve it, maybe update it occasionally. That's it. So that's S3. Unlimited storage for your files. It scales infinitely, it's crazy durable, and you only pay for what you use. Start with the free tier. You get 5 free gigs for a year, plenty to experiment with. So if this video helped you, drop a comment. I'm working through AWS certifications right now, so you could expect more of these. Alright, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.